Mm-hmm. And y'all think you can take pain so much. Like, I could take pain forever, right, Taurus? You think you could take all the pain, and just because you didn't holler out or cry, that, that made it okay. No. Anyhow, Tauruses for the month of July. Okay, thank you. Mm, thank you. Thank you, my guides, angels, spirit, universe, blue angels with the white light, confirmation and guidance for Tauruses for the month of July. First 10 days, thank you. Which you don't see coming. Some shady ass characters in the mix. The second half, the second 10 days of July. What's in the headspace for Tauruses? Thank you for any messages. Okay. What's in the heart of it all for Tauruses? You know what? Okay. And the last 10 days, thank you. You came up in your own reading. And the outcome here, if nothing changes. 2 cards. Oh, wow. Alrighty then. And your advice. Ooh. Oh, Nazrel. He got kicked out. What do you do? Okay. He tries. Okay. So I feel like overall, Tauruses, this is just day to day. This is not, the major arcana doesn't even come in until well into the end of the month, and it's your own energy as far as majors go. The rest of this is minor, right? So, hey, Mr. J, welcome home. No, thank you for the roses. I'm doing Taurus's reading here. So when I don't see a lot of major arcana here, this feels like it's just day-to-day stuff. This is just, there's so many reversals here as well. Look, everybody has to go through these things, okay? We all have to go through it. We all have to it's not a straight line. Thank you for the roses. It's not a straight line. It's peaks and valleys, but we're always headed up. Hey, Matthew. We're always going up, but it doesn't go straight. It's peaks and valleys. So the minor arcana, to me, it says it's just shit that you got to go through. You're tough, you're stronger than this stuff. And although it might frazzle your brain for a couple minutes, it's nothing that hasn't already been achieved. We've already gotten there. So first 10 days of July. This, Matthew, come on in. Thank you for the heart-shaped roses, Mr. J. Come on in, Matthew. Wash your hands, kick off your shoes. Make yourself a plate, make yourself a drink. Your family now. I appreciate the favorite. Taurus's first 10 days of July. You got the 3 of Wands here in reverse. As far as love, relationships, and love can be all things, family, friends, so on, things that you care for, right? How you love yourself. Remember, that was like the channeled message. Loving yourself. It feels like you have had a couple days to lick your wounds so far now. Okay. But if you've been rejected in some way, if someone's made you feel rejected, a pity party can last forever. You can't have don't drown in this. I mean, yeah, it doesn't feel good if someone doesn't do, give you what you thought. Thank you for the hard eyes. If someone doesn't give you what you thought, if they don't, if it didn't give what it was supposed to give, it feels bad, but you gotta pick yourself back up out of it, and no one else can come and cheer you up but you, because you're a Taurus, you're stubborn. So if anybody's gonna let you out, it's gonna be you. Thank you for the roses, darling. I appreciate you. As far as your money goes, this is just a warning against being materialistic. So you might even have been I feel like rejecting yourself from doing something, or giving yourself what you wanted, because so it's like, okay, I need a new phone, but I'm not going to get a new phone because I'm waiting for the iMac 6000 plus whatever to come out, and nothing else will do. As opposed to, just being a little less materialistic. What is the real purpose that you need the best that money can buy? There's nothing wrong with having a sense of class and value, but what is the real reason? Is it just so that you can say mine's is better than yours? You got to check that in within yourself. That is personal, and you've got to have a healthy attitude about spending money. What's healthy? I know, right? And for each of us, it's going to feel different, but you don't want to be a miser. It's a spectrum, right? You don't want to be a miser where you don't spend $1. You saving every single penny. You are, reusing your dishwater and your bath water. Like, you don't want to be there, but you also don't want to be to the point where it's like, I have to have all of these things, which means I have to work 80 hours. Hey, Rain, how you doing? I have to work 80 hours every week, get a part-time job. I have to do all of this because I have to wear Gucci. You know what I mean? Like, I must, my linen must be whatever, so just being conscious. There's somewhere to fall in the spectrum, and really constantly checking with yourself if you are doing this because this is what you really need to feel comfortable, or is it as a matter of pride and ego, trying to prove something to other people or disprove other people's opinions of you, or your projected idea of their opinions of you. Okay. Rain, thank you. If you're in the stream, hey, AB, if you could go ahead and smash the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you could do that for me, it would be really good. I'm reading for Tauruses right now, the first 10 days of July. As far as love goes, now we've already talked about, you have this sense of rejection, and you might be, licking your wounds in a corner. This is also looking like you really are pulling back. You might have had some other prospects, but current events, first 10 days of July, it sees you really holding back, not really giving towards any love situation, period. Like, even if you're in a relationship already, it feels like you really want some time alone here. Okay. Venus and Mars are coming into a conjunction in Leo. It might feel a little bit too confrontational for the Tauruses, especially those Taurus risings there. Okay. As far as your money goes, don't be tempted by people who, it's like you don't feel sorry for people here. In your financial situation, if you are doing well, you've got everything you need, your bills are paid, your security and your comfortability, you bust your ass for it so far. So don't feel guilty about having that. And if you see other people are going through it, suffering, especially if they're like your close family, and I'm just getting this picture of like, your siblings and, your close family members who, they give two shits about like showing up for work on time. Like they don't work all of these aspects, that you have been overdoing, they have not been doing at all. And that is not on you to fix it for them. So there's an old saying, if there's 9 broke people standing on a corner and you go stand next to them, you're going to be the 10th broke person. So this is just guarding against trying to put your, this is like you having so much emotional attachment to people. You want them to be as comfortable as you are. And in the first 10 days, it's like you might see you might see a lot of people who you might feel like you should help, but that they've got to learn their lessons on their own. Okay, Taurus. You could really see like, damn, you are fucking up, but don't give in there, because what you think you would get back, what you think you'll get back from them, which is like emotional support. Like, I got money, but I need somebody that's going to be down for me and hold my hand while I'm nervous or crying. Thank you for the roses. And they don't have any intention of that. They're grabbing at whatever's available, sticking out on their way, falling down. So just be mindful that you might be giving from your heart, but takers are not taking from their heart. Okay. And it's a bottomless pit there. Okay. So be careful with your money. Especially with like people that you feel emotionally connected to. Don't be tempted to rock your own security for the benefit of someone who especially if you see that they never really commit to any plan. They don't resemble anything like you. They are not the same, they are not just falling on a hard time. Like, they always going to have these type of problems because they don't properly plan, and that is not on you, Taurus. Okay. No matter how much you want to try and help them there. Okay. First 10 days, this is why I'm saying the person that you might be exposed to, who might come sniveling around, might come back, you might be tempted to really spoil or give plenty to. Don't expect them to reciprocate in the way that you think. They feel like they gave you time, so that should be enough. So just be mindful, especially if it's an air sign or a fire sign here. Okay. And you can live in the past here. This is a good reminder. You cannot live in the past here, Taurus. Especially if I just feel like there is this person coming around, and this is like, you're really vulnerable, and you see them as vulnerable because they match your depth of emotion, or at least they seem to. However, you might be banking on how things used to be, but you've got to face the facts of how things are right now, especially in your love relationships. And if you feel tempted to give things away, try and help, you're trying to give them advice and they don't even want your advice. So it'll be pretty apparent to you this first 10 days of July. Like, even if I gave you advice, I gave you all the money in the world, you could lead a man to the water but can't make him drink. That whole scenario really does come into play here. But like I said, this is not major. This is small stuff. This is shit you've already dealt with. You should be well aware of how this person, people, situation, how they move. They haven't changed. They ain't gonna change. You, however, you ain't changing either. So it's just another brush with the past, I'm feeling. Okay. This is just also, like I said, reminding you, as far as money goes, you've been down this road with these people about who you give. And so think of the last time you gave them. Think of when's the last time that they gave you. And if you just answer that question simply for yourself, Taurus, you'll be able to count. And I know it's not like a natural way because you give from your heart, like I said, but when you add up the receipts, you'll see it is foolish of you to put yourself in a bad way trying to prove how steady of a heart you have, how good of a person you are, how well off you might be, how good your planning is. They don't learn their lesson that way, So moving on to the middle of the month, you've got the Two of Wands here in reverse. So I guess you don't listen to my advice. Maybe you do, but it doesn't look like you do. Okay. Or this could also be you actually taking my advice and, so it feels like in a love relationship, they come around and they're like asking for your goodies, your treats, your love, your money, your attention, your affection, your stability. And when you tell them like, not this time, I'm not falling for it, they actually kind of show you that side of them that you really don't like, or you might try to, it feels like you might try to rope them in some way in a relationship. Remember I was saying, you give them and you kind of have this expectation that they are there for you emotionally or whatever. And just remember that is not them. How you are, don't expect yourself from others, okay? You might be the type of person that's willing to stick around and stick it out and, go through the mud with somebody. Love conquers all, but they may not be. And that is their choice. So for them, that feels like the death of them, perhaps. So be mindful of that. What you need and what others need might not match up, period. Okay. And it's just a simple thing. And if you can, I had one of my really good lifelong friends, he would always say, it's just a behavior modification. Okay. So, like I said, if you are expecting them to, stick it out with you or be more emotionally supportive, and they're telling you they need space, they need time, it might really piss you off. It might make you feel cheated, but just remember they have needs too, and their needs and your needs might not match. Okay. Um, as far as your money goes towards the middle of the month, like from the 11th on, you might see an opportunity where you could make some money, but you're scared to take a chance. And I really feel like this is, again, connected to this brush with the past, this loved one that comes around. They might have a really good idea here, and you are like, no, I'm not getting into no more schemes with you. I already learned my lesson. I lent you money to start that business and do this thing 100 times already. It never pans out. You might just be a little scared to do it. But, be the vibe you need to see in this world, Taurus, because they might be really onto something, and you'll know. You have to really be able to discern between, your own personal like attachment scenarios versus, fear versus what's a good. You could smell money a mile away, Taurus. You know where there's some good money, a good opportunity when you see one, but don't be so stubborn or unwilling to take a chance here for your money towards the middle of the month. Okay. Even if it's just the forecast is saying you might be a little scared to take a chance on some money, but it is worth it if you do try, because you do have this 6 of Wands here. So it might be something. How you'll be able to notice this money making opportunity and if it's worth it this time is because it'll be something that they presented to you before. And it was just like something kind of stopped it from happening before. And now it's come back around. You see another opportunity to do so. That's how you'll know. Okay. You'll know because it'll be like, yeah, but this time, you know what I mean? I got all the supplies already. You know what I mean? This time, the distribution channel is wide open. It wasn't before. That's the difference. It'll be a second time. You might have had a small victory before, but it kind of, required a little bit more time than you were really willing to invest before. But this time, it'll be something that you're able to reel in pretty big rewards. It'll be something that you've already experienced or had a small victory with it before. Okay. So if it's something completely brand new, then it's probably not that one. But if it's something that you've tried before and you had a small victory, not a huge one, this time around, you could actually reel in the big fish. Okay. I feel like in your love life, in the middle of the month, your partner might seem to, if you have any love interest or something, they might seem to be having like the biggest attitude. They're not as open with you. They're not even willing to, to fight about it. It feels like they're just kind of aloof. The more you try to push the issue, though, the further away that they'll be. So just be conscious of something's bugging them. And you're going to have to really play your cards right in order to get them to feel comfortable to open up about what is bothering them. They might just feel like they already know how you are. So no need in bothering you about it. And you being careful with your money at this time might be like the one thing that's got them with an attitude. I see 0 pentacles. on this board here. So actually only the King of Pentacles and your advice is in reverse. So it feels like where your partner, your love interest, your loved one may come around thinking that you will, usually you spoil them. You give, you got it. And this time they didn't get that completely from you. The hesitation might make them draw away from you here. Okay. In your money in the middle of the month, it feels like you have a lot of options, but not any one particular direction. It feels like you're really taking a backseat approach. You're not driving. You are letting what may be overall a lot of stuff coming at you that you just don't feel connected to. You're not feeling like it's commitment worthy. You don't want to get involved with something that's not going to last here. Okay. You do have this Six of Wands here. This is good victory here. So take heed and take the, I think towards the middle of the month, you might, I don't know, I'm feeling like get a haircut, get a, something that makes you feel a little, it's something that you do that gets you a lot of attention towards the middle of the month, or somebody you get back in touch with maybe that makes you feel, if there's a Leo, that's a big deal too, right? Somebody might open up to you, warm up to you, show you some attention, spoil you a little bit. But if you got a lot of attention going on, don't forget who was down with you from the beginning, okay, in love. So, don't get too big for your britches, as they would say, where, you've gotten a lot of attention and you end up running off with some crazy person. Don't forget who was down with you, who was waiting on you while you were having your pity party, while you were in a bad mood and all of that, who was around back then. Okay. This also feels like towards the middle of the month, if you happen to get over your fear here and take a chance on whatever this business opportunity, gamble, investment that you could make, it feels like you might really see a big payoff. So use this if you do come across this money towards the end of the month, the middle of the month. Don't forget to show love to the people that showed you love, back then, back when it's just something about making sure that you remember where your heart is, where your home is, where your real friends are, where your real supporters are. Okay. Towards the end of the month, you've got the King of Cups here. I feel like if you're blessed to still have your dad around, this is also a really good indicator. It might be time to pay some homage to your papa. Okay. Towards the end of the month, it feels like you have to make a choice to take care of your mate. This is asking you to be the mature one and really take care of your partner here, okay? Um, you know what their problems are. You completely understand and you're compassionate. So towards the end of the month, maybe from the 22nd on, you might find yourself in the position where you have to take care of your mate. And if this is vice versa, where they might have to take care of you, but I feel like it's the other way around. As far as your money goes, towards the end of the month, um, I think if someone had a bit of an attitude with you throughout the month of July, towards the end of the month, they will see your real value. You're worth your weight in gold. That emotional support can't be bought. That you offer, Taurus. Okay, they can't buy it in a store, so they'll really be willing to give what you need monetarily. Being having someone you can rely on, however it is that you are making your money, it just seems like, being the steady person really starts to pay off towards the end of the month. Okay. I think it's something to do with, like, if you were to, like, if you had a loan that you pay back to this old friend, maybe a Leo here, and then they in turn see you as like a really golden person, like unmatched, and they appreciate you so much, and they show you, they pay you, they spoil you because you showed such good character. Okay. um what you have here, you have the Hierophant in reverse, and the Hierophant is usually your energy. It's here in reverse. So I feel like, I'm okay with it being in reverse as far as your money goes. This is just a reminder. Don't count on charity. I'm hearing, like, if you, for instance, this scenario, how I'm seeing it, right? You get involved with someone who is in and out and unreliable throughout the month, and then you reconnect with this old friend after this person may have burned you in some way, as far as like it's fiery, like they took you for a ride, and now I feel like you might be in the place of complaining about it a bit, to this one person who adores you and will sit and, be there for you. But, just be careful not to drag it, to seem so caught up on something, because you might be missing the fact that somebody loves you right in front of your face, and you are seeming so caught up on these other folks or this other situation. Okay. Yeah, they, they always borrow money, they never give it back or whatever. I should have never messed with them. That kind of talk. It's like self-perpetuating, like you keep bringing it back up and so on. So it's like, okay, yeah, we know they're shit. You're the best, but let's not talk about that anymore. Let's not talk about what they did, who did it, or whatever. Like, what are you going to do from this point on? So try not to rehash the past too much towards the end of the month. Okay. Even if you think that you are not being like extra emotional about it, like you just talking about it, just be careful with that part. Okay. It also feels like, because it really makes some, like, if you're having a conversation with someone, especially in love situation, right? And all you keep talking about is this person that fucked you over, hurt you, or whatever, it starts to feel like, well, why am I sitting here listening to you? If all you want to talk about is, why don't you just go talk to that person? Okay. Joe, welcome home, honey. Why not go talk to them if that's all you could talk about? Thank you for the peace signs. So it feels like it could drive a serious wedge between you and someone that you actually do get along with. And this is also an indicator. Don't talk to everybody else about it. If that person that you got beef with, tell them, complain to them, talk to them about it. And you don't have to keep beating a dead horse. You can just say how you felt straight up and let it rest from there. You got bigger fish to fry. People that really fuck with you like that, you just needed to let them know that shit was corny what they did. So, okay. Your advice. You've got the death card here and you've got the strength card. Remember, I was saying towards the middle of the month, I feel like you really do reconnect with a Leo, if there's a Leo in your life here. So it's like, this is kind of reiterating what I'm saying about putting one thing to rest and looking at what is in front of you as opposed to dealing with the past, okay? This feels like you guys got to look at in the love situation. It feels like temper, you know? This might be vice versa, but people might be seeing you as very willful, you know, very argumentative. You know, if they're seeing you that way, they're holding back, you know, from arguing with you or expressing how they feel because you're in such a rage or such a passionate, you know, rant or something. Or this could be vice versa. You could just see somebody that is very fiery, pissed off and all of that, and all you could do is just kind of like, whoa. Just listen, take it with a grain of salt, don't take it personal. You might be, I feel like this is a sense of you getting worked up about nothing as far as money goes here, okay? You might see or feel like, you know, whatever this situation that plays out over the course of the month, like, oh, now you messed up my 401k and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it might not even be that serious if you just calm down a little bit, okay? It feels like, it seems like a simple answer here. Like if this person causes you to be so upset and so, you know, pissed off, then why stay with them? And you'll probably be like looking for someone to support you emotionally. And I don't see, you are able to support people emotionally when they're going through things, but it doesn't seem like people are able to support you emotionally when you're going through something, because it seems like it's something that you go through all the time. Like, how many times are you going to let this person rake you over the coals, do you like that, and expect people to be like, oh, you know, yeah. Well, you're a Taurus, so you expect people to do it all the time. Just be mindful there in your relationships. I just really feel like keep real control over your emotions. You know, I know you might think that you're just expressing how you feel and, you know, people should be interested because you're there for them, but I just really get the sense of it coming out the wrong way, is coming across as like you are dragging it. Okay. And overall, again, from the beginning, we talked about how you feel about money and placing so much importance on money, how it really affects you, because what if one day you don't have it? You know, what do you have if let's say for whatever reason money is not there, you know? If you can't go to work or whatever, then what do you rely on? What do you depend on then, right? So, your advice for the month of July, you've got the King of Pentacles here in reverse. Don't be easily swayed. Don't let your partner steamroll you. Don't let your love interest steamroll you. Don't be so quick to take everything to heart, but don't be a fool either. You know, a fool in their money surely parts. Being stubborn will definitely cause you more uphill battle than smoothness. So test your flexibility, test your willingness to believe in yourself and your instincts this month, Taurus. And really get a handle on how you present as far as how much value you place on money and the cost of things. You know, good friends are hard to find. They don't come all the time, and they don't always come from the same quality of life. And nobody's saying that you're wrong for being one of the most luxurious signs, one of the that has a good, you're the sign of value and quality, what we have, right? But having a lot doesn't make you better than people. And people might need to, this might be a message for other people dealing with you. Like, just because you have more than me doesn't make you better than me either. That could be Taurus saying that towards friends, family, people that they end up being close to. It's just a sense of what about your spirituality? What do you believe in? What do you stand for? Where's your heart? Where's your soul? Not how much is in your bank account. Okay, so please hit the like or subscribe. It really does help the channel. Hit me up on Instagram or at my website, astrogiftsplus.com, if you're interested in a private reading. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you, Taurus.